All right, and welcome back into another episode of Jimmy and Jake's USL Adventure. I am Jimmy, as always, here with my partner Jake and our show dog here, beautiful Bella. Hello, Pup Up.
She's
Um,
she's our views machine.
indeed, yes. It's really only the reason people are here. Now, everyone you may check out. That is the Bella portion of the program. Um, No, we are into technically week nine. We didn't do a week eight show because there was only two games. We did give you the USL Jägermeister Cup episode last week, which was a fun episode. We will continue to do that throughout the rest of the season. But getting into week nine here, Jake, back into the swing of things. Ready to play a quick "How's your touch"?
I am. Let me put her down. If you guys have any questions for Bella, put them in the comments.
Indeed.
All right, go for it.
All right, and this is maybe more conjecture than absolute facts, but I think that there's an argument to be made here. Um, what team right now is the best statistical attacking team in the USL Championship?
Is is it going to be like one that's like a tricky one? Like a
The USL Championship is chaos, bud. I mean,
yeah.
anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
I think I'm going to go chalk and I'm going to say Louisville.
Louisville is a fine guess. I think the argument though needs to be laid upon Charleston. They are tied for the goals lead with the team that I believe is the best statistical attacking team in the USL Championship right now, and that is the El Paso Locomotive. They are
Oh.
tied for first in the league with 15 goals. They are second in the league with 99 shots generated. They're fifth in the league with a 20% conversion rate. They're seventh in total passes at 3,211, and they're tied for fourth in pass accuracy at 83%. They're moving the ball well. They're an attacking team that's scoring goals. Their defense is continuing to get better. And it's been good as of late. So but really, as far as an attacking team goes, in my opinion, El Paso is first. Charleston probably close second. Their conversion rates and their goals are right up there with El Paso's. But yeah, so a fun little nugget to get us started here, week nine. But
Uh, a lot of
before
a lot of
go ahead.
goals against, but 6 of those were in the first 2 matches. So,
That was the figuring it out phase, right? That was the
yeah.
the regeneration phase. All right, so we are headed. Speaking of Louisville, the team that you did guess, we're headed that way for the first match.
Yes. So one thing I wanted to make a note of, and I don't know if you've seen this or not, someone actually posted and then I immediately lost it. Or it might have even been on Threads, so I don't even have Threads. But a Louisville fan, posted an image, like a letter, that they were being fined by the team for missing this game.
What?
And I've been trying to find it ever since. I
It's
refused
gotta
to
no.
download I
It's gotta be
refused to
fake
download
news.
Threads, but it was something like he had a fine from like another game. Like it was like a letter talking about like how this derby was important and yada yada yada, and they were supposed to be there or something like that. So I don't know, but this is a very Louisville game. Dominated this one, not necessarily in the possession, but just overall the better team. Louisville goes on to win 2-0. They had 44% of the ball. Um, 16 shots, 4 on target, 9 and 3 for Lexington, 238 passes to Lexington's 325 passes. So we have a scoreless first half. In the 50th minute, things get a little wacky. Lexington's Forster Ajago receives a red, gets tangled up, going for a ball with another guy. He sort of falls onto all four, or kind of is like falling onto all fours. The Louisville defender goes down and he just straight up kicks out and kicks this guy in the head. So this guy's on loan from Salt Lake in the MLS, and this was his first match, and he gets a straight red. Just like a mental breakdown. He the funniest part of it is he gets taken down and kicks, and then it from what it looked like, he's like calling for VAR, not knowing that there's not VAR in this league. So yeah, Forster Jago, get it together, man. 67th minute, Louisville gets a goal off of a corner, but it's an own goal by Lexington's Gael Hiber. Just kind of a bang bang thing, and he ends up putting it into his own net. 82nd minute, Louisville's Philip Goodrum. 58th minute sub. He gets a turnover and then plays like a 1-2 with Jansen Williams and just thunders this thing home. Great shot. There was a lot of hard shooting this week. We'll get to some more of that later, but yeah, he hammers this one. Louisville stays hot. And Lexington has not won in the league since beating Hartford on March 8th. So I believe that's 7 matches without a win. For a team that we were both really excited to watch at the beginning of this season, it's kind of gone downhill at this point. So hopefully they could figure it out.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it's you want to say that teams are ready to make that jump, in competition level, but this might be sort of a precursor to what we might see as far as growing pains for teams once we start promotion relegation, right? Like where you got to come up and build that squad ready for that league. Anyways, we're actually headed for the first time this season to Rhode Island, hosting San Antonio FC at the Centerville Bank Stadium at Tidewater Landing. This was a 3-year project, $130 million stadium, a beautiful 10,500 seater, soccer specific, but built for other events and stuff too. It's located right on the river. It's gorgeous. But it is a turf pitch, but that's not uncommon in the Northeast. This game, however, there was a lot of action. Rhode Island had 16 total shots, 5 on target, 56% possession. San Antonio did have 6 shots, but only 2 on target, 44% possession. No goals, 0-0 still. The second half, this is the headline from the game is Sanchez the hero. He made several saves in the second half that were just like absolute clutch blocks, including a point blank save on Maxi Rodriguez. Speaking of Maxi, he had 5 good chances in the second half. A couple shots. He had a header go just wide. Couldn't get one in. Doesn't quite spoil the party. As Rhode Island can say, they've never been beaten at home in the entirety of their existence. At Tidewater Stadium, if you will. But that's it for me. Let's head over to the Rocky Mountains and Colorado Springs.
Yeah, so this game ends in a 1-1 draw. Colorado controlled the ball 55% of the time. 19 shots, 3 on target. Phoenix had 15 and 2. 326 passes for Colorado to Phoenix's 256. So we're going to go straight to the 11th minute. I love Gerald Margarita. Love that dude. Super, super fun to watch. Phoenix long ball gets intercepted by Garvin Michi first one of the day. Garvin Michi Metusala. Whoo! But before he can pass it, Isan Sako just sort of picks his pocket, passes to Margarita, and like I was saying before, scorches this one. I thought it was going to rip the net. It was one of those ones that just looks like it's just going to keep going up. It pops the back of the net. It's one of those ones where like the net pops. Fantastic. Margarita continues to impress. What up?
I know I said I wasn't going to interject because I drew our Jaeger Cup episode out an entire hour last time. But I did want to say I did make the connection finally that Ethan Sacco. I'm a million years old and I just now got like a new Xbox, but I had a PS3 and the last version of FIFA I had was FIFA 19. And Sacco was a player that you were like buy in FIFA 19 from a French club. I think I want to say like Toulouse or something like that, or Troyes or something like that. But yeah, he's it's crazy to see him, now in the USL Championship. I think he joined this year or the year before, in Phoenix. But yeah, kind of crazy how career paths go. Anyway, I digress. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no worries. He's played for both Strasbourg and Nice, Troyes and Thun, which I believe is
Tro-
Swiss.
Troy is the team I was thinking of. Yes, yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, just great goal by Margarita. Yeah, Sacco, like head on a swivel, good press. He is a really good forward. Phoenix has always had really good forwards. We go to the 58th minute. Colorado Springs is Yosuke Hanya hits like a hezzy, like anybody basketball fans out there. The hezzy move kind of hits that while he's in the box and just puts this assist right onto the foot of Anthony Fontana. Another blistering goal. They tie the game up. Really, really good move by Hanya. He's been fun to watch as well, despite Colorado's struggles. In the 64th minute, Phoenix's Remy Cabral has a chance to take the lead, but he misses wide. Really, really good chance. They put him onto this thing good. And then in the 90th minute, +4, Colorado Springs' goalkeeper Abraham Romero actually receives a red card for a handball outside of the box. Does it essentially just to stop a breakaway. Phoenix player gets on the ball, sort of pops up, and he smacks it. He knows exactly what he did. As soon as he smacks it, he kind of and he walks off. Literally the last play of the game. I don't know how smart it is with you missing the next match, but as far as getting a point on the road, or I mean, getting a point at home against a Phoenix team that looked like they were ready to beat you, you got to do what you got to do.
Straight red's 3, right?
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah.
So
Does it
I
work like
mean,
that for handballs, or is it violent conduct?
no, no. I mean, I think it's straight red is
Ooh.
is 3. I mean, I would have to go back and look, but that was my understanding.
I mean,
Um,
if
anyway,
it's 3, then yeah, might as well just take the goal at that point. But yeah, that
oh
that
gosh,
finishes us up in Colorado. Their championship hangover continues.
indeed. All right. So from the Rocky Mountains, let's go to the Low Country and to Charleston, hosting Hartford. Um, Charleston gets back on track here with a 4-2 win. I do want to start to highlight some players that are starting to stand out. People you might want to check out if you're picking up any of these games. For Charleston, I did want to point out Juan David Torres, and not just because he had a fantastic game this game, he ended up having 3 goal involvements, 2 goals and assists this game. But he's got 7 goal involvements so far this season, 3 goals, 4 assists on the year. He's only 24 years old. He played in Argentina with Banfield and Brazil with Corinthians, in their youth setups, and then had 8 appearances with Millonarios in Colombia before coming to the championship. But he's a really, really skilled player, really good left foot. Definitely one you want to check out. This game for the goals for Charleston, we had a penalty for Cal Jennings, puts his 6th in on the year. I think second in scoring still this season. As I mentioned, Torres had 2 goals in the 38th and in the 64th minute, with Husu in the 56th minute for Charleston, rounding out their 4 goals. For Hartford, they did get the early goal with Scarlett in the 5th minute, but he gave up. He is the one that actually gave up the penalty for Cal Jennings in the 24th minute. And then I'm gonna go with Misha in the 62nd minute with the PK for Hartford as their other goal. This game, the scoreline, Charleston giving up 2 goals is not probably what they wanted to do, especially to Hartford. But the game wasn't that close. Charleston had 19 shots, 7 on target, 61% possession. Hartford only had 8 shots, only 3 on target, so 2 goals with their 3 shots on target, and only 39% of the possession. It was business as usual. Headline here is no Malloy, no problem. Malloy doesn't start, but the battery still dominating possession. It's a good bounce back game after the Jaeger Cup, coming off that loss to FC Naples. So Win gets him back on pace here, and from here, we are headed to oh yes, Jake, take me home, country roads to the place where the locomotive dominated New Mexico.
I want Aaron Malloy to be named Ed so bad just so they could have that call. No. Ed Malloy.
Malloy!
So we're gonna do something a little different. I thought about doing O Fortuna again, but I felt like the last one was a little bit weak. I kind of tried to freestyle it and it didn't go as well as I thought it would. So I'm just gonna give you guys a breakdown of how my night went along with the action in the game. So I want to give a big shout out to El Paso officials, you crooked fucks. I hate the local government here. It's just dumb, and the organization's all out of control. There's traffic everywhere. So I get to downtown. I'm already running a little bit late because that's usually how it goes when I get there. But they decided to have high school graduations, some sort of terrible music concert where I usually park. Instead of, setting up somewhere else, they set it up like literally where I usually park. So I couldn't park there. Trying to find parking. Every single parking garage and parking lot is filled. I went up and parked on the other side of I-10. For anyone that lives in El Paso, I parked on the other side of I-10 over near where the community college is. Prayed to God that I wouldn't get fined or ticketed and headed to the game. Regardless, best night ever. So El Paso held 40% of the ball. New Mexico actually held 71% in the second half. 22 shots, 8 on target, 10 shots, 6 on target for New Mexico. 240 passes for El Paso, only 72 in the second half, 383 total for New Mexico. Best night ever. Like I said, 12th minute, I was still trying to find parking at this point, and there was no sound on the game. I don't know what happened. I believe Seriously Loco had said that Duke Keith had made a comment about it, about them trying to do better. Duke, it ain't your fault. We love you here in El Paso. You could do no wrong. But yeah, so no sound. Looked down and I looked down at my phone. Actually, I wasn't looking at my phone while I was driving. Gabby Torres dribbles into the box, sends a cross. Andy Cabrera heads it home. Really, really good goal. Andy Cabrera, right place, right time. And Gabby Torres is a stud. We'll get into him more a little bit later. 45 minutes in, I reach my seat. So I got there for the tail end of the first half. 50 go through the first half, realize people are sitting in my seat, decide not to fight with them and just sit in my seat. And then 51st minute, Roberto Avila dribbles in off a counter. He passes to Cabrera, who controls it and shoots it for his brace. Fantastic goal for Cabrera. Really, really good to get his second goal of the night. Really good control. Like, he snags it. Looks like he's trying to one-time it at first and then just says, nah, grips it and rips it. Fantastic goal. 53rd minute. I buy an Estrella Jalisco Clamato for $17.
Oh, Jesus God.
Do better, Mountain Star Sports Group. That's just so shitty, man. $17 for a fucking beer. 83rd minute. Really, really good pass from Frank DeRoma, who had himself a fucking game. A lot of these, there's a lot of really good performances on Locomotive that kind of got overshadowed by my boy's hat trick. But Andy Cabrera finishes off the hat trick from, like I said, a really, really good pass from Frank DeRoma. Like, really good. So one thing, I kind of wanted to have some talking points. Jamali Waite, huge game for him. He kept this thing scoreless. 6 really big saves. Did really great out of the back. Daniel Bruce, the New Mexico irritant, the man who has tortured us for years, he subbed in and immediately got a yellow card, so he couldn't be as aggravating. He was still talking to the refs as much as he possibly could on every single play. DeRoma can fucking dribble. That dude, all 5'4" of him, that guy is a stud, man, in the midfield. Really, really good creator, really, really good defender, very stout. And then I just want to highlight Gabby Torres. He was our best signing this offseason, in my opinion. Plays as like an attacking wingback or like a left winger. He has been fantastic. I've loved everything about him this year. 28 years old, Brazilian, 1 goal, 3 assists on this season in 8 matches. He's been great. And then again, my apology tour to Andy Cabrera continues. His evolution as a goal scorer has been fantastic. Just positioning and finishing. He's got 6 league goals this year and 2 in the Open Cup. He's just been fantastic. He gave a lot of credit in the post game to his teammates for being able to set him up. I was unfamiliar with your game when I was talking shit, bro. You are fantastic, man. And then Wilmer Cabrera, I had a lot of negative opinions about the last 2 managers, John Hutchinson and Brian Clarehout. I thought there was too much focus on trying to build like a European-based team here, which you're not going to bring Scandinavians into El Paso and have them play a summer schedule in 100-degree heat. It's just not going to work out. Wilmer's building a fun counterattacking style with CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, Latino tough players and guys that have experience in the USL. I'm really, really happy about where this season's going. And obviously beating New Mexico United at home 3-0, first ever hat trick for the club. And he does it against our rivals. Fantastic. Andy Cabrera, take a bow.
I I have to interject just momentarily because this is our of the USL Championship adventure we've been on. This is our 8th episode. Okay. In our power rankings, just as like our visual memory here because I can't pull the audio from our talking points were. Um, a nice draw against the champs. If you're going to be the coach's son and play, you better keep scoring. That was week 1. Comment from Jake. Week 5.
By the way, that
Go
was
on.
that was supposed to be what was it? Oh, this draw was brought to you by nepotism.
Well, and that was my editing, and then and so by week 5 I had stopped editing you, and this is week 5, mind you. This is only 3 episodes ago. This club has it all: defense, counterattacking, nepotism. So how quickly the winds change and blow in Jake's fandom. Um, I hope that Jake's dad of anybody keeps receipts of all of the shit Jake talks on this, just to watch him ride the roller coaster rest of the season when he comes on here with his Wilmer Cabrera jersey that he bought too early and he stops scoring at 7 goals. And I can't wait for just the anger of him having this jersey of this guy he didn't have to buy it for, this bum. But anyway, I digress.
The team, that's another thing too, other than the audacity of $17 Clamato beers. They don't do screening there. Like they only sell blank kits. So I'm gonna have to go somewhere downtown or to one of the swap meets to get it pressed. But yeah,
Even better.
it might be a rocky road, but I mean, as of right now, I really, really like this. So yeah, save the receipts. Also, Andy for Ballon d'Or.
Oh boy. All right. All right. So we hit a couple flat tires on our adventure here, but those are both induced by me. So let's get back on track here. And we're gonna head back to the Keystone State. That's Pennsylvania, yeah. Okay, yeah. And we're heading to Pittsburgh for the Riverhounds hosting North Carolina FC. Oh boy. And I will say that all these notes were before today's result, where Pittsburgh got a very surprising win in the U.S. Open Cup against uh, New York City FC. That having been said, I don't have a lot of nice things to say about Pittsburgh right now, but they did get a loss here at home to North Carolina. Um, I did want to call out for North Carolina, their goalkeeper, Jake McGuire. He does have only 2 clean sheets, but he's tied for second in the league with 21 saves, has 9 goals allowed. A little background on him. He's actually a Tulsa grad. He had a cup of tea, if you will, in the MLS. Played in Swedish uh, first division, and then he played with North Carolina FC before they dropped down to the USL League One for a season or 2 seasons, whatever that was. So he was with Miami for 2 years, and then back now with North Carolina. North Carolina in this game really was about a 6 minute window, right? So Perez gets a goal in the 66th minute, Dolabella in the 72nd minute. Those 2 goals in 6 minutes, lightning strikes down the Hounds. And then, paging the ghost of Bob Lilly, Augie Williams is MIA. They have looked a shell of themselves. And again, the U.S. Open Cup win tonight probably cleanses the palate a little bit, but it doesn't hide the fact that the Hounds have not been playing well. That's 3 straight losses in the league now, coupled with a loss in the USL Jägermeister Cup last week. This game, they're super unimpressive. They only had 9 shots at home, only a shot on target at home, only 52% of the possession. North Carolina had 12 shots, 4 on target, that 48% possession. Good win for North Carolina, but really, Pittsburgh might still make the playoffs in what is shaping up to be a very top-heavy East. But right now, without Augie Williams firing, I don't know where the goals are coming from. They just don't seem to have it this year, in my opinion. And I guess when do we start asking the question, is Bob Lilly untouchable as a coach? But maybe a conversation for another day now that they get that win. So from there, we're heading back to sunny Southern California and Orange County.
I just want to reiterate one more time. Every time he's mentioned, I have to say it. Bob Lilly is a compiler. Orange County SC welcomes Tulsa to town and beats them 2-1. Orange County had 53% of the ball, 22 shots with 8 on target to Tulsa's 7 with 1 on target, 208 passes for Orange County to Tulsa's 173. We go to the 15th minute. Tulsa's Owen Dom rocks the crossbar with, like, if he has scored this thing, it probably would have been a nominee for goal of the season. Nothing else really happened in the first half. So 55th minute, Orange County's Ashton Miles, he ends up with an assist off a clearance. When a Tulsa defender it looks like he slips or whatever. Miles is just clearing this ball. Like, he gets a bad pass back to him and he's got to rip this thing before the attacker gets to him. So the Tulsa defender slips. Liam McKinnon, Jimmy, where does Liam McKinnon owe his allegiance to?
Definitely sounds like Chilean.
He's Swiss.
Oh, I definitely want to guess that. Yeah.
So Liam McKinnon, he jumps on it and is able to chip Tulsa goalkeeper Johan Penaranda. There we go. So we're heading to another episode of What Would Jimmy Do? WWJD. Jimmy, my question for you is, in that situation, are you charging that guy and trying to make a tackle, or are you going to sit on it and hope that the defender gets there in time, which the Tulsa defender almost did?
Yeah, so I think that's part of the equation, right? Like, when you're looking at this, initially, when you look at the video back and the ball goes over, the keeper is actually backpedaling a little bit, finds his center, and he actually does a good job, I think, of approaching the ball. Where I think the problem becomes, and where you need to, identify you have some opportunity, is he starts to go low as you would if you were just alone in a one-on-one situation. But when you see that defender coming in to pressure the shooter on his left shoulder, if you stay high, basically you have 2 spots, right? You're worried about your lower left if they're trying to slot it, or where he goes over the top. But at least you're big enough for that. And I think in this case, where the keeper kind of misses the mark, is he looks like he goes down way too soon. You got to be almost on top of the ball, but if you're going to go down like that, otherwise you're exposing yourself to that kind of goal. So that's I think you charge it, but you got to stay up. Keep yourself big.
Okay. Yeah, I was more confused about what happened to that defender, because it almost looks like his legs go out from under him and he like belly flops.
it was awkward. Yeah, like I think sometimes you get yourself caught. Like I don't know. Shit happens.
Baseball fields, baby. Or no, I don't think that is a baseball field. Never
No,
mind.
that one's not. No.
No. So we go to the 74th minute. A pass from Tulsa's Harvey St. Clair just gets completely ignored. This goal is ridiculous. Like he passes this ball, and it's not even like that hard of a pass. It's a ground pass, and it looks like it sort of bounces off the ground a couple times. And where Orange County fucked up is they allowed Taylor Calhera to get onto it, and that dude is scoring this season. So yeah, latches onto it, scores the equalizer. He's got 4 league goals this season and 4 in the last 3 matches, which I believe includes a J Cup match. But yeah, Tulsa, despite the 4-1, I believe, against Oakland recently, or was it 4-1 against who was it 4-1 against? I can't remember. But yeah, despite the 4-1 versus Las Vegas, which was sort of a flash in the pan for them, they're not going to score a lot of goals. If they are going to score a goal, it's usually going to be Taylor Calhera. I'm only human, damn it. So we're going to the 80th minute. McKinnon gets his brace, receives a pass from Ryan Dogman with his back to the goal, turns, fires it, bottom corner. Penaranda just gets frozen on this. Another one of those little like goalie glitch outs. But yeah, super, super goal from McKinnon. A lot of control to just grab it, turn, and shoot it where the keeper just couldn't see it or can get to it. So Orange County goes on to win 2-1. Really, really good win for them. Tulsa is going to continue to confuse the fuck out of me for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they can't quite seem to get it together. But I mean, there's a couple clubs like that, I would say, in the league right now.
Yeah.
One of which I'm starting to feel like is the away team in this next match. We're headed to Indianapolis for the Indy 11 hosting DCFC. This game ends in a 2-2 tie. I did want to highlight and somebody we talked about in the green room before we came into the recording here was Elvis Ammo. He does get a goal tonight in the U.S. Open Cup in the loss to the Philadelphia Union. But
Did he celebrate?
I didn't look. I didn't see that. I just saw that he scored. Um,
Oh no, I'm
I,
saying did he celebrate against DC?
oh, did he? Yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
Yes. So yes, he did. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he had a cup of tea. He had a season in Detroit. But what I'm going to highlight is he has 5 goals in 8 appearances. So he's played 42% of the available minutes. He's scoring about a goal per 60 right now. And that was before he scored tonight. Whereas last season with DCFC, he had 26 appearances, only 7 goal involvements altogether, only 3 goals, 4 assists. He only scored a goal. Um, yeah, I mean, his goal rate was way down. His goal involvement rate was way down. So certainly doing a lot better, a lot closer to his career average. He's been a career USLC type guy, but a little frustrating that yeah, we couldn't get him to buy we couldn't buy a goal with him last year, and he's supposed to been on fire for Indy 11. But in this game, DCFC gets off to an incredible start. Ruts in the second minute, finds a goal on the back post, and then Darren Smith, just unplayable right now, leading the league in goals. That's his 7th goal in the 15th minute. They're cruising, uh, and then Amo gets a goal in the 27th minute on a bad giveaway from the defender. Just gives the ball right to him, does what he's supposed to do, gets a goal. In the 60th minute, White gets a red card for a bad tackle. And then, you think, Detroit's up 2-1. We got the Indy 10. We'll see this out, but that man, Elvis Amo in the 66th minute ties it up. And that kind of leaves the game where it is. So the headline for this one is fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Both goals that DCFC gave up were, two blunders that cost them. Especially the one with on the second goal with Elvis. It just a long ball, direct ball over the top. The defender somehow lets it get past him, and Amo does what he needs to and just slots it in the far left. Indy only had six total shots, two on target, 41% possession. DCFC with 10 total shots, four on target, almost, the 59% possession, but just can't do enough to see this game out. In years past, the issue has always been the defense has been great. The goaltending has been fantastic. Just can't buy goals. And now we have, on form, the best striker in the league, and they can't hold on to leads. So a little frustrating for the boys from Detroit, but they look to regroup next week. So from what is still early days, a little cool, 60-degree Michigan weather in Detroit. Take us out to the Bay Area for Monterey Bay and in Miami.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask, or I was gonna say, Amo should have done the Adebayor versus Arsenal slide. found the Northern Guard guys that made the trip and just hit it.
I mean, he could have. He could have. I mean, if he wanted to.
They probably just would have been like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I never saw. I never saw you score last year. I don't know who the hell you are.
All right, so yeah, we're heading to Monterey Bay. They end up drawing with the Miami FC. Monterey Bay had 43% of the ball, 12 shots, 5 on target to Miami's 16 with 9 on target, 205 passes from Monterey Bay to Miami's 298. So we're going to go to the 9th minute. Monterey Bay started off hot. Really, really good long ball link up from Monterey Bay. Sort of just like a diagonal ball to an on-rushing fullback who then lays it off to Mayele Malango. And he pings in just a super short pass to Elijah Paul, who just kind of toe pokes it home. 4 goals, 2 assists in the league so far for the 22-year-old Elijah Paul. He's having a great season. I wonder if he's going to get noticed by maybe an MLS squad or something. Dude is super, super talented, really good striker. Go to the 44th minute. Miami might have gotten robbed in this one. They sort of a scrum for the ball. Shot gets put in. Monterey Bay's keeper saves it, but in the replay, it looks like he saves it and kind of pulls it across the line with him. Yeah, maybe Miami feeling a little hard done after that. But no matter, 87th minute, Christian Vasquez sends a corner in, and Francisco Bonfiglio, he fights off his defender. Sort of looks like they're doing like the middle school dance, where you got your arms all the way out, leave room for the Holy Spirit type thing. Pushes off his man, gets in, sort of dives into a header, gets the equalizer. Miami holds on for a point. Really fun stuff. I mean, Miami kind of gotten written off, but they ain't last place in the East anymore, so good for them. 6th place even.
Yeah, I'll say like they've certainly been playing a lot better as of late. Like I mentioned, I think I kind of called this out maybe a few weeks ago with Bill Hamid coming in. They're starting to look competent where some other squads have sort of fallen off, and like I mentioned, it's a very top heavy East, and there's a lot of open spots for playoffs. So if Miami can be consistent, like that's kind of the wait and see, right? Can they keep this pace? So, all right, from there, next game we're going to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay hosting Birmingham. This game 2-2. I've been harping on Tampa Bay because they had such a good season last year, and I thought it had to have been scoring, right? They lose Cal Jennings. I've been hard on Arteaga, And then I said, you know what? Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's the goalie. They seem to give up lots of goals. This game, right? They're up 2-0. End up giving 2 goals back for the tie. But is it Campisi? You know. And I look at him and say, well, he's given up 11 goals in seven games, 630 minutes of action. So he's let in a goal every per 57 minutes. Um, and then I was like, well, they only had to bring him in because they lost Jordan Farr, who ended up going. I think he's like a backup with DC United in MLS. But well known as a very good goalie within USL structure. I'm like, well, how was his season last year with Tampa Bay? And I looked back, he allowed 51 goals in 38 appearances, which is 30 in 3,300 minutes of play, which is 1 goal per 64 minutes. So really not that much of a difference between him and Campisi. Like, 7 extra minutes of average, isn't that big of a deal. And Campisi does have 17 saves in the season. So while certainly they could do better defensively, they're not getting anything less than what they did last year when they were able to finish in fourth place. So but this game, like I said, finished 2-2. Uh, Tampa Bay gets Fernandez back in the starting lineup. Looks great. Ends up earning a PK. Barry's in the 26th minute. Um, and I apologize. They did go up 1-0 and then give up the 2 goals, not 2-0. But anyway, they're up 1-0. Then Birmingham gets the goal in the 70th minute with Martinez, and then Trejo. And inevitable, right? He's a prolific striker. He's going to get his goals. In the 76th minute, goes up 2-1. And then a player I do want to highlight here in a second, but Nyangaberi in the third minute stoppage time. Um, Gets the goal. For me, watching this game and watching the last couple Tampa Bay games, I did want to highlight him because honestly, he's one of the best offensive right backs in the league that I've seen. He gets up and down. He does have a strike threat. He can shoot or create chances for himself. And I've seen him play lots of really great dangerous crosses and balls in from the outside. So while Tampa Bay does have their issues defending, and have had a sort of rough season, he's actually stood out to me as one of the better players. So but that's it from Tampa Bay. 2-2 here. Both teams sitting outside of playoff spots right now. So last game for you, we're heading back out to Oakland and the biggest stadium in the USL Championship at the Coliseum.
Yeah, quick note. I was looking at Leo Fernandez.
Mhm.
The guy played for Penn FC in when it was USL Pro, and he also played for New York Cosmos in the NASL. Like, that dude has been cooking for a while, man.
Yeah, he's been around.
But yeah, so we're gonna head to the final game of the week. Literally, this was the last game on Sunday. Oakland welcomes Sacramento Republic to the Oakland Coliseum and promptly loses 0-1. Oakland's fun run, at least in the league, ends with a popcorn fart. 59% of the ball for Oakland, 10 shots, 3 on target, 7 shots, 2 on target, 274 passes for Oakland to Sacramento's 177. So not a lot in this game, really. One thing I wanted to highlight, and if you have any notes, because you are doing the Gold Glove watch, I wanted to talk about Danny Vitiello for a while. He won this one for Sacramento, 3 huge saves, and at this level, he is one of the best point blank guys that I think I've seen. Like, he makes himself big. He gets low when he needs to. He goes high when he needs to. But this dude ain't scared of shit. Like, these shots can be coming right in front of him, and he's just putting his body on the line. Really, really like what I've seen from him this season. Super, super good goalkeeper for this level.
Yeah, he is sitting right now tied for fifth with 18 saves on the season. I was looking at his clean sheets. Does only have the 1 clean sheet, but that's not always indicative of the goalie. It can be some defensive issues there, but he is one that I have noticed him when I've watched games. He makes important saves. He always seems to be well positioned. Doesn't give up a lot of stupid stuff. So sometimes just being consistent is the name of the game.
Yeah. And then, so we'll go to the 47th minute. Oakland's Naveal Hackshaw brings down Sacramento's Jack Kerr in the box with a late tackle from behind. More like Hacksaw, am I right? Russell Cicerone finishes off the pen and the Roots for the win. Decent game from Sacramento. They're going to get, they get points for this one, move up into 8th place, playoff position. But yeah, Oakland, just sort of a nothing game from them, which is a bummer. You want to see them do well in that stadium, and it just ain't happening.
Yeah, you hope that they're gonna figure out. We're still, and for some teams we're getting close to a quarter of the way through the season. Some teams have only played 6 games, but we are starting to see where some issues are, and there's still lots of time to course correct if you can make the right changes. All right, so I know this is Jake said that was the last game of the week, but the last game that we're gonna cover, look out for little bugs, that time of year, is the Vegas hosting the first place in the East, Loudoun United FC. Vegas with not a shock, but kind of a surprise win here, 1-0. I did want to mention, kind of shout out Vegas. Man, they've got 5 shutouts in 7 games, but they've also allowed 7 goals. And um, they've allowed 7 goals, and 2 of those were 0-0 ties. So 2 of the games were 0-0 ties. So that means that in the 2 games that they lost, they gave up all 7 of those goals. So they get 3.5 goals in the game. So they're either, you can't break them, or you can do whatever you want with them. And really they need some more offense, as well. They've only scored 6 goals. So again, they have 5 shutouts in 7 games and a negative goal differential, which is just mathematically mind-boggling. But yeah, they only scored 6 goals, and they only have 55 shot attempts on the season. But in this game, it's enough. Rodriguez gets a goal in the 25th minute off a cross. And it's kind of from there. My highlight, or my headline, if you will, is Vegas rides their luck. Loudon dominate possession, but some great saves from Rosarena. He had a crazy big handed left paw, another looping header that he was able to touch over the bar, and honestly, those saves, saved them a point in this one. Vegas only 7 shots, 2 on target, 35% possession. Loudon on the road with 18 shots, 5 on target, 65% possession. Them losing, I guess, isn't so, again, shocking. It is a surprise because they've been playing so well. However, if you look at the stats, you look back at the highlights of this game, Vegas really stole the win here, and they've done that to a couple teams already this year. Loudon, you keep your head up. If they keep playing this way, they'll be fine. I don't see this as a wobble. I think that I see this as just a learning opportunity, that wins and points in general, especially on the road, are hard to come by in this league. So, all right. So, Forbes Player of the Week. Jake, who do you got for us?
Yeah, so the Canardo Forbes Player of the Week award. I tried not to be biased on this one, but fuck that. A hat trick in the Derby del Camino Real. Your Canardo Forbes Player of the Week is Andy Cabrera.
Indeed. Yes.
Future Ballon d'Or winner, too.
Sitting tied for second in the championship with 6 goals. Those 3 goals certainly helped rocket him up that chart there. But, not going to mention him in the same breath as Cal Jennings and Darren Smith, if you will. The Elvis Almo of El Paso.
It's eerily similar. I mean, a goal apart. Neither of them are passing the rock. 0 assists for both of them.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. There's one route to go once they get the ball at their feet.
Yeah.
All right. So for the Nate Steinwacher Gold Glove Watch, I did want to throw out the honorable mention to Raiko Rosarena. Again, for whatever weirdness they got going on there, him personally has 4 shutouts, 11 saves, and 2 of the finer ones I've seen all season in that last game against Loudon. But for this week, it remains Nico Campuzano from Monterey Bay. He's such a big part of what they've been able to accomplish earlier in the season. He's got 34 saves, which is by far the most in the league. So literally keeping his team afloat in some cases. He's got 3 shutouts. And again, not the best defensive team in the league. He's just creating lots of saves in those shutouts. Does have the 7 goals against, but um, he does have a goals against, 0.8 goals against per game average. So he's still doing everything he can to keep his team afloat. For me, he is the current Gold Glove holder after week 9. All right, Jake. Any last thoughts? Any sending uh, well wishes to anyone as we venture up to week 10?
Yeah. I want to give first a shout out because the latter, what I'm going to mention, reminded me that I needed to give this guy a shout out. Alex Windsor, who was on the Maryland Bobcast with us. He was the leader of Old Bay Brigade, the supporters group out there. Him and his wife welcomed in a beautiful son named Theodore. So congrats to you, Alex. And then, of course, I want to shout out our fearless leader, the greatest executive producer who ever lived, Mike. He had another daughter this week. Mike be fucking. So congrats, Mike. Love you, buddy. You and Alex. Happy that you guys are, your families are happy and healthy and you're doing well. Have fun changing those diapers.